Welcome to Corks, Chords, and Conversations. I'm your host, Mark Rowland. Today we're interviewing Julisa Wright and Joel Hanson. They're part of the group called Julisa and the Semi-Sweets. Through some reshuffling and personnel changes over the last couple of years, this group has really come into their own. 6 members have really given them a sound that's unique, and Julisa's vocals are crowd-pleasing and really appreciated by audiences. So guys, thanks for joining me. I have a question. How do you think your gig went tonight?
I think it went relatively well. We were just talking about how we're practically like half of a new band. We've rehearsed twice with these songs, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
And it was a lot of improvising with each other, but I think we did really well just listening to each other and going with that. I don't know. How do you feel?
No, it was great. I mean, the crowd just loves it, and that's what we feed off of is the audience. And the audience, you can just sit there seeing them moving their lips. I mean, we're singing the standards, the America's Songbook, and people know it. And tonight was kind of special because it was all the Christmas songs that everybody knows, of course. And when you got a voice like Julisa, it's just warm and it's great. I mean, she's awesome. I love playing with this lady. The whole band does. She's Julisa and we're the Semi-Sweets. So we try to stay sweet. We're not on the bitter side, but it's all good. We're having the time of our life.
It's not often we see people dancing at our gigs here. People were really moved by the music. My question to you is, why jazz here in Longview, Washington? Traditionally really not a jazz place.
You mean for like each of us, like why we've chosen that? I mean, I grew up listening, like I was just immediately drawn to listening to Ella Fitzgerald and all of the greats, Etta James, Etta Jones, Nina Simone, like all of that. Even in the 7th grade, I was just drawn to it. And so I've loved it since middle school. I've dreamed of being able to sing with a jazz band, and I never got the chance until I started like 2 years ago. So here before, just like, a year or two before I turned 40, I finally got this dream to come through, which is really wonderful. And so I've sung with these lovely greats my whole life, but never got the chance to sing in person. And so when I got the opportunity, I jumped at it. And I don't know, jazz just is a part that my soul feels alive when I hear it, when I sing it, when I'm a part of it. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, you play drums and everyone wants to play rock and have fun, all this stuff. And of course you do it. But my first drum teacher, he was like going, I'm teaching you jazz. You need to learn jazz. And that was Marty Higgins, who's a local, and he plays a lot in Portland area. And Marty was instrumental in saying, nah, you're going to learn this stuff. And I've run into Marty since, and I always thank him for it because it gave me a whole different breadth and depth. And of course, I just think I have an old soul anyway. I've always just enjoyed all these things. I mean, I was listening and crooning with Sinatra and other stuff when I was in college, and just because it's timeless. It never ages. And it's fun taking this stuff and making it our own and twisting it a little bit and bringing it and making some contemporary stuff jazzy and standard as well. So we're having fun and exploring a lot of our sounds and just kind of it really just got started. I've played with a lot of groups and I haven't felt this way about a group in a long time. This group is really something special. We're just like Julisa said, we just really just got started. I mean, we've been kind of hit and miss and working through members and kind of until we finally got everybody on the same page where this is what we want and this is where we're headed. And it's magic. It really is. You get it in a bottle every once in a while. And I think we got something in a bottle here that's really special. And the audience, like you said, they're getting up and they're dancing. They're having a good time. They're really enjoying it. And, how can you not have fun when you're seeing that out there?
I noticed you have a couple of new players in the band from the last time we saw you this last summer. Tell me a little bit about Dale, your guitar player.
Dale is an amazing guitar player. He's teaches at the Kalama High School. He raises goats on the side.
I've heard that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's great because if you go to the McMinimans there in Kalama, if you wander the halls, there's a painting of him that they did.
What?
Someone commissioned a painting of him, and he's sitting with his goats playing his guitar, and he's got the Kalama High School band kind of behind him. It's all this painted picture, and it's great, you know. And then Bryce Pollock, our keyboard player, played with him as well, and I've played with Bryce for a number of years, and having that keyboard player is just wonderful, having that kind of thing. And then John Swecker, who, again, I've played with a number of years, and John is just a pro. I mean, to have that kind of talent and a guy that can play that well, I mean, outstanding. And then Dennis was just a recent find for us, our new bass player, and man, what a great soul and spirit. I mean, Dennis is just the kind of energy you want to have in a band. He's just locked in and loaded, and he sees the vision, and he's excited.
Okay, so whose idea was it to start a jazz band here in Longview, Washington, of all places?
It's kind of a funny question because it's like it's morphed and it's transitioned so much, because about 2 years ago is when I started, and it was with, frankly, just 3 different members, with a drummer and a guitar player and bass player. And I had mentioned, because I'd gone and seen all of them playing, you know, with the Big Swing Band, and I just was like, I really have a dream of singing jazz, and I just love to have a chance. And so my original bass player, Don Menares, who's amazing, was like, yeah, come join us. And so he invited me to come in, and I started singing with those guys. And then you know, through time, as people have different creative choices or where they want to go, you know, it's like our band kind of grew and then shrunk, and now we have the band that we're in. But I think I can't say where it started. I know for me personally, I always had a dream of being able to sing jazz and put on a show and give this like lovely feeling of being able to escape the now and all the worries, and just be able to enjoy some fun time. And so all I want is to be able to sing and perform just something that makes people, I don't know, forget about their worries and enjoy the jazz that we love, enjoy the songs that we love, and just everyone feel really great. And it's so nice, like, I think with our group that we have now, we're all on that same page, and that's what we want to give to people.
So you both are native Pacific Northwesterners, right?
You go first.
I moved here when I was a year old. I've been here in Longview, and like I said, started hitting drums when I was 2 years old. I was grabbing Lincoln logs and milk cartons, and I was born to hit things. And so, it's best I hit those instead of people, as my mom always told me. Don't hit your brothers, hit the drums. So, so that's probably best. But this is what I've been doing. And you know, I ventured off and ran a business and did a lot of other things, but music's always been at my core.
And I was born and raised here. You went to school with my dad, so there's that part. Definitely from Longview. I took my time though, where I went out to LA for a good 10 years and got to do more of my performing and theater and acting and comedy and all of that stuff. So it's so fun to get to bring that back though to my hometown. And then we're raising our kids, my husband and I raising our kids here, because we just, you know, we like to bring that back. And I think there's just a special joy that you don't have to necessarily go to the cities necessarily to get something that's quite that same, I don't know if I want to say like caliber, or it's just really fun that we get to perform, and we're all just putting our whole heart into it. And yet we've gotten to travel and have other lives, and then bringing that into now with where we are. But yeah, there's still also like definitely the dream of being able to perform and play in other places all over Southwest or Pacific Northwest and Southwest Washington. But yeah, I was born, raised here, and then came back.
What have you been listening to lately?
Oh my gosh, I probably drive Julisa crazy, because I'll go, oh, check this one out. Oh, check this one out. And you know, so many of these things you'll hear them in modern television stuff on a new Netflix or Apple TV or whatever, and they're playing these cool soundtracks and songs. You know, Miss Maisel and all these songs. All of a sudden you hear these great song tracks and stuff they were playing in the 50s and 60s, and it's like, this is really cool, and I love what they did, and we got to do this. And then there's postmodern jukebox. There's just some really cool groups out there that are just doing certain things, and it's like taking like a pop song and making it, twisting it up and doing their thing. And so we're kind of looking at those kinds of experiments too. And we do a Mr. Rogers song that I just absolutely love. It's just really cool, and it's just like, and the audience just kind of like, they hop on that trolley ride and King Friday and and all that. It's good in the neighborhood, and everybody's like into it. It's really good.
The music really is contagious. I have a question about where you're going to go from here. Do you have any desire to take this to a higher level?
I'm excited. I've found someone who can do recording for us, so I would love, that's just my own personal thing. I want to record an album. That's a big one for me that I'd really love for us to have our first recorded album. I'd love to see us play outside of Longview because, I mean, as we've said, we're still pretty new, but I love that we're taking this time to like find ourselves and find our voice and what we're doing. And then I'm excited to get these other, spaces that we can go to, and Portland and Seattle is like a big dream of mine, to be able to play in those, the other outside cities from Longview. Or even like, I don't know, cruise ships would be pretty fun. Take a little time.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
The Portland Spirit or something.
Right,
like
something
that.
like still close. But I'm like, I got 2 little kids. I got to see them. There's that part. But the big one for me this year, I'd love to just record an album. But yeah, what about you?
Well, I agree. I think the biggest goal, I think, is just to kind of start putting together our own stuff, getting stuff on a YouTube page, building up some stuff so that we can start sharing it, so that we can actually knock on some doors. Because, I mean, that's a lot of it. I mean, just people, when they come see us, they're like going, oh, my gosh, this is great. I don't get to hear this kind of music anywhere. You guys are really, we're hearing all these great comments, and it's wonderful for us, but we need to get the word out. And so, doing things like this and playing here, and it definitely helps, but it's just getting some recordings, getting some stuff put together so we can, go in the door and say, here, check this out, and, let us know when we can play for you, so.
We've been talking to Julisa, Wright, and Joel Hanson, members of Julisa and the Semi-Sweets. You've also been listening to Corks, Chords, and Conversations with your host, Mark Rowland. If you like what you hear and you want to hear some more conversations about jazz, about music, about wine, and just human interest stories, that's what we want to do. So until next time, see you later.